Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Evercrisis. We're going to be talking about Sid's banner that just dropped along with Lucia's, but Lucia I'm doing a separate video because each one has a pretty good kit. I want to go over it compared to other characters and give you guys a wish list. So these two are going to be different dedicated videos to each of the characters. So Sid is going to be in this one talking about his new lightning setup that comes in. He is a sub DPS, so do remember that as a sub DPS, he still can do very good damage. It's just that with a new overspeed in the game, giving us more raw stats, and overspeed when we activate it gives us even more percentage towards our attack. He won't ever be as strong as a dedicated DPS that will have magic lightning. But that doesn't take away to the damage he will be doing, especially as he's supporting. So with that being said, let's jump in. Ignore this thing. Vecness on my stream. When people support, they can be a raid boss, and this is going to be here for quite a while. So get used to Pooh Bear getting punched out a couple of times. But with that, let's go into Sid's banner. Talk about where he belongs and how his whole setup looks like. Costume-wise, I think everything looks really good, except for this giant piece on his shoulder. That is going to poke an eye out. Like, I can even see the eye shifting towards it. Like, what the hell is this? Right? Look at that. Look at that. That thing's crazy. I would never wear anything like this if I was in combat, just for the fact that if I move my shoulder like this, something's getting poked out. But everything else looks amazing. Absolutely good color scheme, especially if you like purple. The spear looks good. The costume looks good. Nothing really looks terrible on this. I really like it. Sorry about my voice. I feel like I'm not going to make this video, but we'll see how it goes. So besides looks on the costume, we do get physical and magic defense plus 15%. Really solid to see on a sub DPS or even a main DPS. Survivability is so good because most of the time I had to switch up materia to get more defense to survive, and that lowers my damage so much. So when survivability is built into the costume, it helps a lot. A lot. Now, the costume itself is a DPS costume, the ones that are introduced in the 1.5 year anniversary. We've got a total of 50% potency for a lightning build here, but divided into a little bit half and half. Lightning is going to give you 30%, and attack stand for magic ability damage is 20%. So technically this can be used on any setup that's magic for Sid that you want to do a little bit more damage. So really good costume. I think that's great. Again, these banners, the feature banners, are based off of their actual costume and not the weapon, because you can wishlist the weapon after. So if you do skip this banner and don't get the costume, that weapon is still available. And if he has more of a utility, more defensive, more help the party costume, you'll probably use that versus him doing more damage, because that costume can go to anything. But him being able to do lightning damage really helps, especially when you're doing those DPS races. So it is a really cool pickup, just not necessary because it's dedicated towards just lightning setups, and that's all he'll be pretty much used for with this costume. Now when it comes to the weapon, Dragoon Lance at OB6, it's going to do 590% magic lightning damage to all enemies. It's also going to lower lightning resist as long as your HP is 50% or more. All enemies mid to high, and same thing at OB10, mid to high. And on top of it, if Sid is buffed, he gets a multiplier of 1.2, so that fully maxed out weapon is going to be doing about 800% AoE magic lightning damage while lowering lightning resistance. Really solid weapon that's not limited. It does 3 things in one: damage, resist down. Sorry, 2 things. Damage and resist down, which is really solid to see in one weapon. Sephiroth is really known for this, being a sub DPS, should be a main DPS, but with exploit he really is. But for the most part, he has weapons that lower the resist while doing damage. There is no other character in the game that does lightning damage while lowering lightning resist, let alone in an AoE version of it. Every other character that lowers lightning resistance, they're made for something else, right? Red 13, support, lightning resist down, he can heal, perfect. Kate Sith has a lightning resist down with magic defense down. He's got a 2-in-1 with his witch's broom. So other characters do have lightning resist down, just Sid is the only one that is able to do damage while doing it, so really helps with DPS races, right? Yuffie's got lightning resist down, but it just does that, nothing else to it. Terra Rod for Aerith has lightning resist down on it, but it's just a resist down. So you got to think about what you need in the team. If you need a healer, a supporter, someone who also lowers magic defense at the same time, other characters do that. But if you need a DPS, Sid is going to be the way to go. His R abilities are 4639, very respectable for his DPS build, and he's got an X sigil. So overall, this is going to be a killer setup to really use with any other Magic Lightning user. The other Magic Lightning users we have are Tifa with her Monster Hunter weapon, and one of the favorable ones is Vincent. Very, very powerful Magic Lightning. So if you pair Vincent with Sid or Tifa, that DPS is just going to be going off like crazy. Technically, you can actually use him with a physical team as well, because even though he's magic based, the only problem is the debuffs or the buffs that the other character brings in is not going to affect both your physical and a magic DPS on the team. So it's better to match him, but he can pair with Cloud's Murasami, Zack's Monster Hunter weapon, and also, even though he doesn't have a costume, Angeal does have a lightning weapon that does 900% CC Alloy Greatsword. Yes, 900% magic lightning damage to a single enemy, right? So technically, yes, you could go that route of bringing in something that doesn't have an Arcanum costume. If you're new to the game, you have no other magic, those are the magic ones, and then there's the physical ones, one being limited, one being currently in the game, Murasami Cloud. So Sid, yes, as it is a very powerful magic lightning user, it's going to be good towards this current battle ranking, any lightning event, but that is pretty much it when it comes to elemental. So if you already have someone who can lower lightning resist, someone who already does magic lightning damage, you're okay to skip this banner for the costume. Picking up a weapon, it's going to be wishlist afterwards, so there is no real need to pull for this. But if you are someone who's going for competitive or one of the best lightning teams, Sid is definitely going to make a big difference, being able to do damage while bringing in debuffs, and then the rest of his kit also really helps. So if you're having issues with lowering enemies' attacks while doing damage and racing towards that HP, this is going to bring in physical attack down mid to high and magic attack down mid to high on AoE. So not only is he doing AoE lightning resist down, he's also lowering all type of attack down, magic or physical, and also boosting HP and ability potency. So not terrible there. Then we've got Slash Lance, which you can lower physical defense, raise physical defense of the entire party. So if you're fading to see someone like Odin, which you wouldn't be because it's a lighting setup, but anyone that does an AoE physical attack against you, he can bring in that lightning damage, lightning resist down, and then raising everyone's physical defense, letting the healer just heal and do some other support, like raising everyone's magic attack and lowering the enemy's magic defense. Aerith would do that. So really good combination. Plus this has buff duration and boost attack. Then you have another one off of Sid, which you could use for his third weapon for wishlisting. And I believe it's the Radiant Lance. Yes, Radiant Lance just for the R abilities. That way Sid can be a little bit stronger if you want more DPS in his build, giving you that option. Obviously, the Rocket Lance is his best offhand weapon for Enfeeble. You add Rocket Lance to this build, right? Lightning resist down, Enfeeble affects it. You're pretty much going to be popping off and doing so much damage, while Enfeeble also affects any kinds of like Aerith's magic defense down. Her limited wand that raises magic attack and lowers magic defense, that's going to get enfeebled. So Rocket Lance, if you do have that limited weapon, makes this build even better. So wishlist wise, if you wanted to go full out DPS, the three weapons you guys should be wishlisting here is K-Sif's Crystal Megaphone. It gives boost attack and magic ability potency. Sephiroth's CC Alloy Sword. It gives boost magic attack and lightning potency 52, which maxes out lightning potency at 100%. And then we got a sawed-off shotgun, which gives boost attack and boosts magic ability potency, making it a very powerful build. Another thing you could do, this gives 70%. So it gives everything pretty much the same, but it gives you 70% potency, where there's 110% lightning and 40% on damage up if you do Cave Sif's Witch Broom. So if you go Witch Broom, Crystal Sword, CC, this gives you 110% lightning, and you only get the boost of 19 points here of 30%. So 30% from just boost magic, an extra 10% lightning equals 40, but you get 5% more boost attack off of the R ability. So instead of being at 15% with the previous build I just showed you with Vincent's shotgun, you'll be at 20%. So 5% more in attack, 40% in potency. So you trade that 5% for 70, right? You got to see what the pros and cons are, but both of these builds really work. So overall, if you are in need of magic lightning, just like Sephiroth, he's going to do really good because his costume is 50%. He doesn't have an exploit, but he has Enfeeble built into his kit. So with Enfeeble, the lightning resist, it makes him super, super viable as a main DPS. You're just missing out on those overspeed like I was talking about. So if you go into growth, so under overspeed, he will get that boost of 300 magic attack towards his build, just like any other DPS character. Currently, Vincent right here, he has 300 physical attack, 300 magic attack for fully maxed out, but you're missing out on that 20% boost, which only happens once or twice in the overspeed, but it could be a little bit of make or break difference. I don't really think so. As long as you get those raw stats from your build, that's okay. Sid gets that raw stat, right? If you go to this build on the side here for his support, you get 300 magic attack. So he's only missing that overspeed of that 20% boost once or twice on a full gauge per battle. So that's the only problem that I would bring up, but not really a big problem to say that he's not going to DPS like crazy, because his permanent build, which is constant DPS, is still very strong. Enfeeble, lightning resist down, 800 AoE, potency of lightning plus that arcanum costume mixed with magic ability potency for 50% up. Strong magic DPS, very, very strong. So I think overall, if you guys are a Sid player, have Enfeeble, definitely check it out for only lightning builds, but that's only for the lightning content. So if the enemy's not weak to lightning, this doesn't really matter, right? The whole lightning resist down is not going to kick in. If you ever need it though, it is there. So it is skippable, but I did want to showcase how cool it is and how good it is. So if you guys are going for Sid, let me know. If you're drained from Anniversary like I am, welcome to the party. It sucks. I think that's pretty much everything though. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.